All right, so you're ready to dive deep into the world of Amazon FBA. We're going to break down Cusack's FBA, Building an Amazon Business, The Beginner's Guide.
Yeah, we'll help you grab all the essential pieces from this book so you can be successful.
Because I think we all know that passive income sounds pretty tempting.
For sure.
You know, list a product and let Amazon handle all the rest.
Right.
All the storage, all the shipping, dealing with those customers.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good. But is it actually that simple?
I mean, it's not exactly a piece of cake.
Okay.
It's still a business, right?
Right.
Even though you're using Amazon's platform, there's a ton to learn.
Yeah, that's what Cusack's book is for. He really walks you through the entire process, from setting up an account to actually having a business that's making money.
Yeah.
But the thing that really stood out to me was how much he stresses how important choosing the right product is.
Oh, absolutely. It's like the make or break decision for anyone doing FBA. You get this wrong, and you're going to have a really tough time.
So how do you find those winning products? Like, what's the secret sauce? How do you find that market sweet spot?
Cusack, he actually suggests you look for products with high demand but low competition.
Okay.
And, of course, good profit margins, too.
Yeah.
He even points you towards some really helpful tools like Jungle Scout,
Okay.
Helium 10, and Keepa. They can help you analyze all the data and spot opportunities you might miss.
Data's great, but what about just good old intuition? Does your passion for something matter?
I mean, it can, but you got to be realistic. You might love something, but if there's no market for it, it's not going to be a good business.
So basically, even if you're excited about something, double check the data.
Yeah. You really want to see if people are actually looking for it before you pour your time and money into it.
Yeah, for sure. So those market research tools can actually help you figure that out.
Oh, absolutely. They show you how many people are looking for something, how many other sellers are already doing it, and what the typical price is.
It's kind of like peeking into the future, right? You get to see if your product has a chance. Let's say we did our homework, found a great product. What's next?
Well, now we got to figure out where to get it from.
Right.
Cusack talks about going overseas, using Alibaba, or sticking with suppliers here.
Oh, okay.
He even gets into drop shipping versus making your own brand private labeling.
It seems like he really likes private labeling.
Oh, he definitely leans that way.
Building your own brand from scratch rather than just reselling something.
He thinks it gives you more control. You know, you control the quality, the price, even the way people see your brand. Plus, it's better for the long haul.
Yeah, that makes sense. Building a brand seems way smarter than just jumping into drop shipping.
For sure. But let's be real. Getting your stuff from overseas, that's a whole other beast, isn't it?
Yeah, it seems like a logistical nightmare.
Cusack actually lays it out pretty well.
Yeah.
Negotiating with suppliers, dealing with customs, the whole 9 yards.
So we found our product, sourced it, figured out all that shipping stuff, and now what? Just list it on Amazon and call it a day. Snap a few pics, write something up real quick, hit publish.
Ah, if only it was that easy.
Yeah.
Getting people to actually buy it, that's a skill in itself.
Yeah, I guess that's where listing optimization comes in. You
Exactly.
gotta make your product stand out from everything else.
Absolutely. Cusack really breaks down what makes a winning listing. From the title, the bullet points, that description that makes people want to buy it.
Oh, okay.
Even choosing photos that catch the eye.
Speaking of, he actually had this great line in the book. In the online world, a picture isn't just worth 1,000 words, it's worth 1,000 sales.
He's totally right.
Yeah.
High-quality photos can make or break you. You got to show your product in the best possible light and highlight what makes it awesome.
I never thought about it like that. Then there's that whole mysterious algorithm thing, right? The A9 algorithm. It's like the boss of where your product shows up in search results.
I know, right? It seems scary. But actually, Cusack makes it pretty easy to understand. He explains how it works, what it looks for, and how you can make your listing speak Amazon's language.
So that means keyword research is super important.
Oh, yeah. You got to figure out what words people are using to search for stuff like yours and use those words in your listing.
Okay.
But not just randomly.
Right.
You got to be strategic about it. Put them in the title, the bullet points, the description, even behind-the-scenes stuff.
Wow. Okay. Listing optimization is way more than just writing a description. Let's say we nailed the listing, we're ranking high in search results. What's the next big hurdle?
That's where inventory management comes in. It can be tricky, but it's essential for a successful Amazon business. You need to have enough stock to meet demand, but not so much that you're paying a ton in storage fees.
Oh, that's tough, especially if you're selling something seasonal or just don't know how much people will want.
Absolutely. Cusack actually suggests using forecasting tools to get a better idea of future sales.
Yeah.
So you could be as efficient as possible with your stock. Oh yeah, I've been there. I once totally underestimated the demand for a product during the holidays
Mm.
and ended up with a warehouse full of stuff I couldn't sell.
Oh,
It
no.
was a rough lesson. So trust me, accurate forecasting is key. But even with the best forecast, there will always be some ups and downs, right?
Right.
So you need a solid system to manage it all.
Okay.
Track your stock, know when to reorder, and be ready to adjust on the fly.
So it's not just ordering a huge batch and hoping for the best. You got to be on top of it.
Exactly. That's where inventory management software can be a lifesaver. It has so much of the work for you and helps you keep an eye on everything.
It's almost like having a virtual assistant just for your stock.
Pretty much. And honestly, it's worth every penny. It can save you so much stress and lost sales in the long run.
All right, we got our product, perfected the listing, inventory's under control. Now we just launch and watch the sales pour in.
Hold on. We still need to get the word out, get those first sales rolling, and build momentum.
Right, marketing. What does Cusack suggest for a good launch?
He's got a whole bunch of ideas,
Mm-hmm.
from Amazon's own ads to bringing in traffic from places like Facebook,
Okay.
even influencer marketing. He's a big fan of giveaways and promotions to kick things off.
Ooh, love a good giveaway.
Me too. They're great for attracting new customers and getting people talking about your product, especially when you're just starting out.
Can you give us an example of a giveaway that actually worked, one that made a real difference?
Absolutely. I once worked with a client launching fitness trackers. We targeted fitness fans on social media and gave away a couple hundred units. It was incredible. The product shot up the rankings and became a bestseller in just a few weeks.
Wow, that's amazing. So giveaways can really make a huge impact. But what about marketing after the launch? Do you have to constantly do giveaways?
Not really. There are other ways to keep people coming to your listings and buying. Cusack talks about building an email list, creating content that your ideal customers will love, and yes, even more influencer marketing to make the most of social media.
So it sounds like staying on top of the latest trends is crucial.
Oh yeah, Amazon marketing is always changing, so you got to be ready to try new things and see what sticks. And don't be afraid to think outside the box. What works for one product might not work for another.
That's good advice. So we've launched, we're marketing like crazy, and the sales are coming in. Everything's perfect, right? What could go wrong?
Well, there's one big piece we haven't talked about yet. Customer service.
Oh, right. Even though Amazon handles a lot of it, we're still responsible for making sure our customers are happy.
Exactly.
Okay.
You need to answer questions quickly and professionally, deal with returns smoothly, and go the extra mile to fix any problems that come up.
Cusack really emphasizes how important that is. He even tells some scary stories about sellers who ignored customer service and paid the price.
I know, right? And for good reason.
Yeah.
Just one bad experience can turn into a ton of bad reviews.
Yeah.
And that hurts your reputation and sales.
So it's not enough to have an amazing product and a perfect listing. You got to keep those customers happy to build a loyal following and protect your brand.
You got it. Happy customers are your best ads. They leave great reviews, tell their friends, and keep coming back for more.
And unhappy ones, well, they can do the opposite. They can leave bad reviews, warn people away, and really damage your brand.
Exactly. So never underestimate customer service. It's a huge part of building a successful Amazon FBA business that will last.
All right, let's recap. We covered a lot in this first part. We talked about choosing a product, sourcing, making your listing shine, managing inventory, launching your product, and why keeping your customers happy is so vital. What are some of the key things you think our listeners should really focus on as they start their FBA journey?
Well, I'd say the biggest thing is to really think strategically. It's not just throwing something up on Amazon and hoping for the best. You got to approach it like a business with a plan, a willingness to learn, and a commitment to giving those customers a great experience.
So no get-rich-quick schemes.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Building a successful Amazon business takes time, effort, and a lot of learning along the way.
That's a good reminder. There's no magic button.
Yeah,
But if you do it right, the rewards can be amazing.
absolutely. Okay, so you've launched, you're managing inventory, keeping those customers happy. What's the next step?
Well, the goal is to build a real Amazon empire, right?
That's the dream.
To see those sales just climb and your brand become a household name.
Exactly. But scaling an FBA business, that's a
Yeah.
whole other journey, full of opportunities, but also challenges.
I bet Gid Cusack has some good advice on how to tackle that.
Oh, absolutely. He spends a good chunk of the book talking about different ways to scale your business. Each one has its pros and cons.
So let's break it down. Where do we even start?
Well, one of the most common ways is to expand your product line. You've already got a foothold on Amazon, you've built up a customer base, and gained valuable experience.
Okay. Yeah.
So why not introduce new products that complement what you're already selling?
Right. Instead of starting completely from scratch, you're tapping into those existing customers who already like your brand.
Exactly. Cusack calls this the synergy effect, creating a whole ecosystem of products that appeal to the same group of people.
So, like, if we were selling those bamboo cutting boards we talked about earlier,
Yeah,
we could also offer bamboo utensils, serving trays, even those little organizers for drawers.
exactly. You're basically creating a one-stop shop for all things bamboo in the kitchen. People already trust you for cutting boards, so they're more likely to buy other bamboo stuff from you.
That's a really smart strategy. But expanding your product line, I'm sure that comes with its own challenges,
Oh,
right?
for sure. A big mistake people make is expanding too quickly or choosing products that don't really fit with their brand.
Oh, yeah.
Just because something is selling well doesn't mean it makes sense for your business.
So we need to be strategic. Choose products that complement what we already have, appeal to our target customer, and really reinforce what our brand stands for.
Absolutely. And don't forget about the logistics. Managing multiple products means you need better inventory systems, maybe even more storage space, and just way more attention to detail.
Sounds like a lot to handle, but if you do it right, the payoff could be huge.
It definitely can be. A successful product line expansion can bring in more money, create different income streams, and make your position in the market even stronger.
Okay, so product line expansion, check. What other scaling strategies does Cusack recommend?
Another big one is breaking free from Amazon and building your own online presence.
Oh, wow.
Think about it, your own website, an email list, social media accounts. It's like your own digital kingdom.
I love that idea. It's like escaping Amazon's control and being your own boss, but also kind of scary.
It's definitely a big step, but the rewards can be huge. Building your own platform gives you control. You control the message, you control the data, you control your destiny.
No more playing by Amazon's rules. You get to create your own brand experience and connect with your customers directly.
Exactly. You're not limited by their algorithms, their fees, or their marketing rules. You have the freedom to experiment, to try new things, and build deeper relationships with your audience.
It sounds amazing, but let's be real. Building a website, growing an email list, that takes time and a whole new set of skills right now.
You're not wrong. It's a long game. You need a plan, you need to be willing to learn, and constantly provide value to your audience.
Right. So it's not just about getting people to visit your website. You have to create content they love, offer them something valuable, and build those relationships over time.
Exactly. Think of your website as an extension of your brand. It's where you tell your story, show off your products in a new way, and connect with people on a more personal level.
And your email list is like having a direct line to your most loyal customers.
You got it. You can use email marketing to share special content, announce new products, offer deals, and keep them engaged.
Sounds like a powerful way to grow beyond Amazon and create a brand that lasts. But what about the global market? Cusack talks about selling internationally, right?
He does. And that can open up so many doors.
Right.
Amazon has marketplaces all over the world, each with its own set of customers and opportunities.
So we can take our products and our strategies and reach a whole new audience overseas.
Exactly. But it's not as simple as just translating your listings. Each country has its own culture, its own rules, its own way of doing things.
Okay, so we got to do our homework, understand those differences, and adapt our products and marketing to fit.
Exactly. You might need to change the packaging, adjust the price, even tweak your brand message to make it resonate with a different audience.
Sounds complicated, but the potential is huge, right?
It is. Imagine reaching millions of new customers, building a truly global brand. It's exciting, but it takes careful planning and a willingness to embrace the unknown.
So we've talked about expanding your product line, building your own platform, and going global. Three really powerful strategies. What's the key to success no matter which path you choose? What ties all of this together?
That's a great question, and I think the answer comes down to this: strategic thinking. You can't just randomly try different things and hope for the best. You need a vision, a plan, and a deep understanding of your market and who your customers are.
So it's not just about working harder, it's about working smarter, being strategic, and thinking about the long term.
Exactly. Scaling is about making smart choices, anticipating problems, and being flexible as the market changes.
And never forgetting about the customer.
Right.
No matter how big your business gets, you got to keep giving those customers an amazing experience and building a brand they can trust.
I couldn't agree more. Customer loyalty is everything. It's especially in a competitive market like Amazon.
All right, welcome back. So we've covered all this great stuff about scaling your business, but before you get too excited,
Yeah.
let's talk about some of the things that can trip you up. Because Get Cusack, in his book, he actually points out a lot of common mistakes that new sellers make.
Yeah, it's like he wants you to learn from everyone else's missteps so you don't have to go through them yourself.
Exactly. So what's the first trap we need to watch out for?
Well, a big one is underestimating those Amazon fees.
Ugh, those fees. It's so easy to get caught up in the dream of making a ton of money and forget that Amazon takes their cut.
Yeah, you've got those referral fees, the fulfillment fees, storage fees, they all add up. You really need to think about those costs right from the start when you're figuring out your pricing.
Otherwise, you could end up selling stuff at a loss and not even realize it.
Exactly. And speaking of pricing, another mistake people make is setting their prices too low, thinking they need to beat the competition.
Oh, yeah. It's tempting to think that the lowest price will always win. But is that really true?
Not always. Setting your prices too low can make your product seem cheap or low quality. Like, why is it so much cheaper than everyone else's? What's wrong with it?
Right, that makes sense. So you need to find that balance. A price that's competitive, but also reflects the value of your product.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to experiment with pricing a bit. See what works best for your product and your target audience.
Okay, so fees and pricing. Got it. What else should we watch out for?
Well, another common mistake is thinking that you can just put your product up on Amazon with a basic description and wait for the money to roll in. Neglecting listing optimization.
Yeah, I guess we learned that's not how it works.
Definitely not. Remember the A9 algorithm?
Mm-hmm.
It's always looking at your listings, trying to figure out what your product is, how relevant it is, and where it should show up in search results.
So we really need to treat our listing like our shop window on Amazon.
Exactly. Spend time making it look good,
Mm.
writing a compelling description, using great photos. You want people to see it and be drawn in.
Yeah, make it stand out from the crowd and convince them to buy.
Exactly. And don't forget about getting customer reviews.
Those are so important on Amazon.
All right, they're gold. Positive reviews tell potential customers that your product is good and that they can trust you.
But getting those first few reviews can be tough, especially for new sellers. Any tips on how to encourage people to leave them?
Well, you can use Amazon's early reviewer program, or you can reach out to customers who've bought from you and politely ask them to leave a review. Just make sure you follow Amazon's rules.
Okay, so we've talked about fees, pricing, listing optimization, reviews, anything else.
Inventory management.
Oh, right, that whole balancing act.
It can trip people up. We talked about forecasting. But even when you try your best to predict demand, things happen.
Yeah, you could end up running out of stock, which is not good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Lost sales, unhappy customers. Nobody wants that.
Or the opposite, you order too much, you're paying a ton in storage fees, maybe even have to sell it off at a loss.
Right. It's a tightrope walk.
Yeah.
Cusack really emphasizes setting up a good inventory management system, knowing when to reorder, and just being super vigilant about tracking your stock.
And as you grow, maybe look into some of those inventory management software options.
Yeah, they can really take a lot of the pressure off, especially if you're dealing with lots of different products or high sales volume.
Makes sense. Well, we've covered a ton of ground today.
We have.
From what passive income actually means to how to scale strategically and all those tricky mistakes to watch out for. So, as we wrap up our deep dive into Ged Cusack's FBA building an Amazon business, what's that one key takeaway you want to leave our listeners with?
I think it boils down to this. Approach Amazon FBA as a constant learning experience.
So important. Amazon's always changing.
It is. New trends pop up, the algorithm gets tweaked, and what customers want is always evolving.
Exactly. So stay curious, stay informed, never stop learning.
Yeah, this book is a great starting point, but it's just the beginning of your journey.
Right. It's like your launch pad.
Exactly. Now it's your turn to go out there and make it happen. Explore, experiment, and learn as you go.
And remember, you're not alone. There's a whole community of Amazon sellers out there.
Oh yeah, it's a really supportive group. Connect with other sellers, ask questions, learn from their experiences.
So to everyone listening, ready to jump into the world of Amazon FBA, we say, go for it. Embrace the challenge, keep learning, and who knows, maybe one day you'll be the one sharing your success story.
And inspiring others to take the leap.
Exactly. Until then, happy selling.